Hey! How are we all doing today? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mills, and today I thought I'd talk through some of the books on my March TBR. I know we're a little bit into March. I might have already finished one or two books, but I thought we could still go through the books I'm really excited to read. And some of these you may not have seen before. So let's dive in. So book one is Half City by Kate Golden. This is the first in the Harker Academy series. I think at the moment there's only announced that there's going to be two. The second one's coming out in October. So I am hoping this is going to be a duology. This is about a girl called Viv who is a demon slayer. I'm getting all my Shadowhunter vibes back and I'm so excited. It makes me, honestly, currently reading this and it makes me want to dive back into the Shadowhunter world. Like I am feral for a bit of Shadowhunters. And I'm trying not to because I read those as a 14, 15-year-old and everybody's doing a reread of them at the moment and I'm like, I need to try again. I need to do them again. So yeah, Viv is a different type of demon hunter. She came into her powers at a young age, which is called an Aeon, and normally demon hunters come into their powers at the age of 21. And she's been by herself all her life. And then this guy called Reed, who is a brood demon, like the worst type of demons, kind of gets her to enroll in Harker Academy, which is like a demon hunting academy. This book is so good. I'm going to admit to you, I've already finished it. Okay, it's on the March TBR. We're on, well, should I say what date? It's the 3rd of March today. Look, I film these videos when I fancy filming them. There's no plan to my chaos. I was a little bit numb when I finished it. I need book 2 ASAP. But yeah, so good. So good. So you definitely need this on your TBR. Look, it's on my it was on my March TBR. I didn't get this filmed in advance. I loved it. Read. I love him. You will love him too. Then the next book we have is Insatiable by Lee Rivers. Okay, again, you caught me out. I've already read this before. But I read it when it was indie published, and my duty as an indie published reader is to read books when they're trad published and tell you if I notice any differences, because this book lives rent-free up here. Like, yeah, I don't charge any rent on it. So this is Insatiable by Lee Rivers. The new trad version, it's the first in the Edge of Darkness trilogy, does have the most beautiful artwork inside. So if he can't have her, no one else can. So this is Cade Mitchell's story. So Cade Mitchell is kind of obsessed with someone he despises. So Stacy was his sister's best friend. They kind of secretly dated each other. Then she did something so terrible he can never forgive her. Ever. Like ever. And let's just say he's back. He's on the scene. He wants nothing to do with her. But at the same time, he might turn her life upside down. Now I'm going to say it. This is my favourite dark romance book ever. Like ever. It's dark romance. It's the trauma in this is going to have you crying. I think a lot of people pick this book up and they don't realise they're about to have their heart broken. Like Under Your Scars by Ariel Anderson level of heartbreak. But it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, I will be rereading this. The text messages look like text messages. I'm just so excited. And then obviously book 2 and 3 are coming out this year, so they will end up on subsequent months' TBRs to also do a check, because I have to check these things. It's like part of my service. Then we have Irreversible by Jennifer Hartman and Shelley St. Clair, or Shelley. I don't know if it's Shelley or Shelley. I want to go Shelley. I'm a little bit nervous to read this. So this is on my TBR for March because it's about to be traditionally published, I believe. I think it has, the indie publication is being pulled. My nerves around this is Red Rabbit. I'm a little bit nervous of anybody being held captive on the black market, and this one is about someone who's locked away in a black market nightmare. I'm a little bit terrified, and she talks the people through the wall, but they never last long, and she's always being kept there, and I obviously can't work out why. With it being indie published as well, you do have the most beautiful chapter designs, but it is quite a chunky one to put on my March TBR. I'm scared. This is probably one of the ones I am most scared to read. I just know I'm not the biggest non-con fan. I can do dub non-con, or I can do a little bit of non-con, but if it's like non-con, like Red Rabbit was. I feel like I talk about Red Rabbit a lot, but I think that book has just traumatized me to my core. So yeah, this is on the TBR. I love Jennifer Hartman. She's the queen of trauma. Still beating. Destroyed my soul. The Wrong Heart broke me into a million pieces. Let's see how we do with this one. Then I've picked up a new J.T. Geisinger book that's indie published called Midnight Valentine, where it says True Love Never Dies. Did I look at the synopsis before I picked this book up and added it to my March TBR? No. Come on. If JT's written it, I'm going to read it. So it says Megan Dunn arrives in Seaside, Oregon, a broken woman with a dream. Open a B&B like she planned to do with her husband, Cass, whose life was tragically cut short 5 years ago. She does like killing people off. But the old Victorian she bought needs extensive renovations, and the one man who can help her, Theo Valentine, takes an immediate and intense dislike to her. So I'm very excited to read this. I've heard that this one's heartbreaking. I feel like I'm putting a lot of heartbreaking books. It's not dual point of view, but I feel like I'm putting a lot of heartbreaking books on my TBR for March. I think I just want to cry. So yeah, I am excited to read this. It's not dual point of view, which is a little bit different to what I normally read. But yeah, obviously we'll do like an update on what I think of all these books on my TikTok as well as I'm reading them, and then I'll probably do like an end of the month wrap up. But if anybody has read this, let me know in the comments if you survived. Then this is where Mills shouldn't be allowed a bank account. So I saw someone do a video to say that these books were about to be pulled from indie and you wouldn't be able to get your hands on them, and there was vampires. Did I know anything about the books? No. Have I ever read this author before? No. Did I just get these because, well, they're indie books that are about to be pulled? Yeah. And that's Bones and Fangs. Look at these covers! This is by Kate L. Spears. There's 2 books. It is a duology. And yeah, I don't even know why these are on my March TBR. I put both on as well because I have a feeling once I finish one I'm going to want to dive into the second. But it says, a post-apocalyptic romantasy. I just saw vampires. I saw the titles of Bones and Fangs. So Bones was born with the miraculous power to heal, but all her gifts has brought is death. As a child, her older brother trained her to survive, and so survive she did. The blood on her hands will never wash off. She is broken and scarred in more ways than one, but she survived. After finally escaping the ruthless raiders who imprisoned her for 12 long years, Bones is haunted by her past and desperate for atonement. Freedom is short-lived, however, as the rumours of her abilities catch up to her. Dragged to the Northwest Mountain stronghold known as the Vault, Bones finds herself involuntarily drawn to the tight-knit crew who captured her, and the feelings she begins to develop for Trey, the heart of the crew, scare her more than the horrors of the past. I put another captive romance on my TBR. Mills, you need to sort yourself out. Again, not your point of view. There is a map of the vault. We do like a map. A mappy map. I like to have a little look to see. But yeah, did I look up anything about this series? Trigger list. Before picking it up? No, I didn't. The covers drew me in. I like an indie book. Sometimes you just gotta be a bit bold with your picks. Sometimes I like to plan them. Sometimes I like to see reviews. Sometimes I like to know they're popular. Sometimes I'm just a feral raccoon and I'm okay with that. Then we have The Morning Necklace by Kate Foster. This is historical fiction. I love Kate Foster. Is it called We Three Kings that I read from her? It was The Kings, The Three Kings. What was The Kings one that I read? The King's Witches. That was it. I devoured that back in 2023, I want to say. So Pam Macmillan sent me this one. It's about a woman who supposedly has killed her baby, but this is also like a time in the 1700s where like taking any sort of tonic to stop yourself from having a baby could have led to problems, and they would assume that you were trying to kill your baby. Like, you've got to think of this like in the 1700s. And they are going to hang her. She gets hanged? I think hanged is the correct word. And all of a sudden wakes up in her coffin and isn't dead. Now, the moral question is, technically she's been hanged. Technically she has done the punishment fitting the crime. Will they hang her again? Will they not? And obviously then you get to find out her backstory. I love everything Kate Foster writes. It's always set in Scotland around the 1700s. I'm always obsessed with these books. I do love a historical fiction when it's done properly, so I'm very excited to give this a go. Then the next one on the TBR, of course, is Sinners Anonymous. So I have an advanced copy of this. It comes out in April. Obviously, these were originally indie published. I did get to meet Soam Sketcher. I have read these. And mine is signed. Like day made. So this is about Angelo Visconti, who gets called Vicious, and Rory Carter, and it's like a dark mafia romance. Probably one of the better ones in terms of, like, you know, my love for Neva Altaj and my love for LJ Shen and Danielle Laurie. Who else do I love when it comes to mafia? But yeah, actually it's here. I was gonna say, I do have my indie version somewhere, so I did read it. Again, this is me doing my bit and seeing if there is any differences. But yeah, I'm pretty sure all 4 books, I hope the mic's picked that up because I decided to turn around. I'm pretty sure all 4 books come out in April, but I only have the ARC for this one, so this one's on the March TBR for that reason. Then we have Rings of Fate by Melissa Dela Cruz. This is on my March TBR. I have a stunning edition. I actually picked up like a collector's edition of this. I was just feeling a vibe. Like, can you tell February Mills had a bit too much money spent on books? Like, Who does she think she is getting collector's editions? But it's just... it's pretty. I love a white hardback as well. As soon as I saw it was a white hardback, I was like, yes. I'm really into my fantasy at the moment. So this is about a barmaid who doesn't believe in fairy tales, and then a prince who's cursed and has to live through a fairy tale. I've heard some really good things about it. I've also seen some people really not like it. It's been very kind of hit or miss if people have loved it or not. But I am so excited to give this a go. I haven't read anything by Melissa de la Cruz. I think she's written quite a few things. So if I like this, again, it's introducing... I realise I've put so many authors on my March TBR that I've not read before. And then a lot of indie to try to rereads. March might be a madness. March Madness is definitely going to happen. We're on the 3rd today and I can already tell it's going to be a mad one. But yeah, I'm really excited to pick this one up. And then we have a stage set for villains by Shannon J. Spann. I know nothing about this book again, but I picked it up because I saw everyone talking about the plot twist and saying it was definitely a standalone. I think she's going to write more in the world, but this is a complete standalone, so you're not going to have these characters again, is what she said. And I just need a few more standalones in my life from time to time. I keep committing to series, and I don't know if this is fantasy or dystopian. I'm going to guess fantasy with Jennifer Armentrout on the front. The mortals made a treaty to keep the players safe, and when the treaty ended, a wall to keep them out. And if the wall should crumble, then marks will keep us safe, and if our marks should fail us, God have mercy on our fate. But yeah, I've just seen everybody on the internet talking about, oh, you think you've hit a plot twist, and then you hit another plot twist, and then you hit another plot twist, and then you hit another plot twist, and I'm just like, count me in. Count me in. I'm ready for this. So yeah, that is the reason that this is on my March TBR. I feel like I'm explaining them so badly, but I am very excited. I think it's like a reimagined play with a hell of a lot of plot twists from the sound of things. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. Then we also have The Night Prince by Lauren Palverman. Okay, Mills should have read this in February. This actually turned up early. Like, Good Girls Read got this to me early. Did Mills pick it up? No. This is the second in the book to The Wolf King. Loved this. Read this in 4 hours. This will not take me long to read either. So if you didn't know, this series has the biggest writing in it ever. It's a love triangle between a princess and 2 wolves. And one of them seems good and one of them seems evil. Everybody seems to be Team Blake. I'm Team Callum, sorry. I'm never the team anybody else is. Look, in life, I'm Team Jacob. I'm Team... Do you know I'm Team Damon, though? I feel like a lot of people are Team Damon. But I'm often Team Underdog. So we will see where this story takes us. I know the 3rd book is also coming out this year, so at some point book 3 will end up on the TBR. But yeah, very excited to dive into this one. Then I also have The Dark Lord's Guide to Dating by Tiffany Hunt. I've now seen it. This is not a standalone. It's going to be part of a series, but I still will read it. It's meant to be like a romantasy comedy series about a Dark Lord. Step 1, kidnap someone cute. Step 2, force them to marry you. Step 3, don't catch feelings. I've heard it's really good. I'm pretty sure it's coming out in hardback after being released in paperback first. So then if the rest of the series is released in hardback, I'm probably going to have to get them in hardback. But yeah, I've heard some really good things about this series, or about the first book in the series. It's by a new imprint called Scarlet Press, which I believe is Simon & Schuster, if I remember that correctly. Yes, so it is a new imprint of Simon & Schuster. So I like comedy. I like Lights Out and things like that, so that's the reason it's on my TBR. And then for my crime book in March, I picked up Dear Debbie by Frida McFadden. New crime book from her. I love a Frida McFadden crime. They're very hit or miss, but this is about a woman who has a Dear Debbie column, and then I think she just loses the will to live. And spirals out of control, which I quite like when she writes an unferal FMC, and I can see it's a dual point of view as well. So yeah, it's a new book by Frida McFadden. Recently, I did The Surrogate Mother, really enjoyed that. I had reread The Housemaid before I went to see the film, so I feel like recently I've been getting a few more hits with Frida McFadden. She's very hit or miss for me. She's not someone like hits every time, but when she does, she hits. And then I have 4 books on the TBR that were actually on February TBR, but I got really unwell in February and just left the TBR. I'm a mood reader, so throw me in with a stomach bug. I'm even more of a mood reader. So the first one that is still on the March TBR is Beth is Dead by Katie Burnett. This is a crime thriller inspired by the women from Little Women. So it's the sisters of Little Women. One of them has been unalived and they're all potential suspects. So that sounds really good. Another heartbreaking one, this is Wrecked by Brielle Mina. I'm pretty sure the audiobook for this one comes out this month. I'm sure I saw someone advertising it. I don't really listen to audiobooks, but it was interesting to see that an indie published book is getting audiobooks. Normally means they're heading towards potentially being trad published. About a girl who is in a plane crash. Supposedly there's not a happy ending and I'm going to be destroyed. So that one has ended back up on the March TBR. as has The Loyalties We Break by Caitlin Taylor. This is a sports romance. I read 2 Caitlin Taylor books in February, so I thought I would save this for March just so I wasn't doing too many in one go. And then the last one is another historical fiction, House of Fallen Sisters. This was on the February TBR because I got it delivered to me in February, but I don't think I was going to get to it. It's set in Covent Garden and it follows some historical fiction stories. So they're the immediate books that are on my TBR, but obviously I've been ordering some books. I'll have some books coming from publishers. The TBR does tend to change. I would say make sure you follow my TikTok because I actually do like reading updates and reviews of each book that I've read. I might be a couple behind on them at the moment, but I'm not too far behind. And that takes me to the end of the video for all the books that are my potentials in March. I hope you enjoyed it. Do make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. This was just a nice little video to show you what we're reading or could be reading in March. And do let me know what your most anticipated read for March is in the comments if you've reached this part of the video. Bye guys!